Welcome back, student. This is Jyoti Saroj, your science teacher. Today we are going to deal with a very interesting chapter which is very much beneficial for ourselves in everyday life. That is chapter number 2, Health and Diseases. So, have a look on this chapter and its interesting topic. Try to listen carefully the entire video. So student, let us see what is health. According to WHO, health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of any disease or infirmity. Okay student, now what is disease? Condition of disturbance in physiological or psychological process in the body is called disease. Now let us see what is physiological process and psychological process. Student, physiological process are the ways in which organ systems, organ, tissues, cells and biomolecules work together to accomplish the complex goal of sustaining life. Physiological mechanisms are the smaller physical and chemical events that make up a large physiological process. Now student, psychological process is a series of steps or mechanisms that occur in a regular way, not necessarily a deterministic one, to attain changes in behavior, emotion or thought. Consider, for example, defining the process of learning as a relatively permanent change in behavior determined by previous experience. Now students, each disease has its own specific symptoms. For an example, during typhoid, the patient suffer from high fever for about 1 or 2. Now, types of diseases. You must have heard the names of various diseases like diabetes. Diabetes, it is a group of disease that result in too much sugar in the blood, that is high blood glucose. Student, there are 3 types of diabetes: type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes and pre-diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, it's a chronic condition that affects the way the body processes blood sugar, that is glucose level. Type 1 diabetes, it is a chronic condition in which the pancreas produces little or no insulin. And pre-diabetes, a condition in which blood sugar is high but not high enough to be type 2 diabetes. Common flu, a common viral infection that affects lungs, nose and throat. Asthma, a condition in which a person's airways became inflamed, narrow and swell and produce extra mucus, which makes it difficult to breathe. Asthma can be minor or it can interfere with daily activities. In some cases, it may lead to a life-threatening attack. Down syndrome. Now student, Down syndrome is a genetic disorder caused when abnormal cell division results in extra genetic material from chromosome 21. A genetic chromosome 21 disorder causing developmental and intellectual delays. Heart disease. Student, heart condition that include diseased vessels structural problems, and blood clot. There are many more common types of heart disease. For an example, coronary heart disease, in which it damages or disease in the heart's major blood vessel. Secondly, high blood pressure, that is hypertension. It is a condition in which the force of blood against the artery walls is too high. And cardiac arrest. It is a condition where sudden unexpected loss of heart function, breathing, and consciousness. Students, reasons and symptoms of all these diseases are different. To bring coordination in scientific study of diseases, diseases are classified as follow. Okay student, now let us see types of diseases. Types of diseases are differentiated into two. It may be according to duration and according to reasons. Now, according to duration, diseases may be chronic and acute. Now, student, chronic disease mean persisting for a long time or constantly recurring. Acute meaning that lasts a short time, that is for a short duration. Now, according to reason, again it is divided into two parts, hereditary disease and acquired disease. Hereditary disease means which inherited medical condition caused by a DNA abnormality. Okay, because of abnormality in DNA, hereditary disease take place, and this disease take place during the birth, means when you are already growing in your mother womb. Now, acquired disease means which begins at some point during one's lifetime. Now, acquired disease, again it is divided into infectious disease and non-infectious disease. Infectious disease, it is transferred from one person to another. It's carried by a pathogen and spread through bacteria, viruses, and other microorganisms. Non-infectious disease, it is not spread by a person to person and it does not carried by a certain pathogens. This disease occurred due to a lifestyle of a person. For an example, diabetes, heart disease, etc. Now student, let us see infectious diseases. As I told you now, diseases spread through contaminated air, water, food or vectors. Vectors may be insects and other animals, are called as infectious diseases. Now student, let us see how infectious diseases spread through contaminated air. As some person during sneeze or coughing, they releases a droplets in the air. As you can see in the image, the person sneezes and the few amount of droplet has been released into the air. In these areas, small droplets are vaporized into fine mist. Okay, that is vapor. Then mist remains in the air for several minutes to few hours. Large droplets settle on the ground within few seconds, and this is the way how the air get contaminated. Now let us see some of the infectious disease, its name, pathogen, mode of infection, symptoms and prevention and treatment. Now first disease is tuberculosis. This disease is spread by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. This is one kind of a bacteria. This disease is spread through spitting by a patient, through air, prolonged, that is long contact with patient and sharing of materials of a patient. Symptoms may be chronic cough, bloody spitting, emaciation, difficulty in breathing. Now, emaciation means the state of becoming abnormally weak or thin. Okay. Now, its prevention and treatment. That is, it can be cured by taking BCG vaccine, isolation of a patient, regular medication like DOT, which is also freely provided by the government. Now, next is hepatitis. It is also called as jaundice. This disease is spread by hepatitis virus A, B, C, D, and E. This is spread through contaminated water, sharing of needles, and blood transfusion. If the infected person transfer the blood, then the person donor receiver may have the chances of getting it. Symptoms may be anorexia. Anorexia meaning lack or loss of appetite, means they do not feel hungry. Yellow urine, general weakness, nausea, meaning feeling of vomiting and grey stool. This can be prevented by drinking boiled water and proper cleaning of hand. Next disease is dysentery. This spread by bacteria, virus, Shigella, bacilli, entamoeba, histolytica. Now, this spread through contaminated food and water. Symptoms may be the patient may suffer from watery stool and pains in abdomen, that is stomach. Prevention may be it can be prevented by drinking of boiled water, proper storage of food with good hygiene, and drinking or taking ORS consumption. Next disease is cholera. This spread through Vibrio cholerae, one kind of a bacteria. This can be spread by contaminated food and water. Symptoms may be vomiting, severe diarrhea, cramps in legs. This can be prevented by following hygienic practices, avoiding open place food, drinking boiled water, and vaccination against cholera. And the last one is typhoid. This disease spread by Salmonella typhi. Salmonella typhi. This is one kind of a bacteria. This spread through contaminated food and water. The person may be feeling anorexia, that is lack or loss of appetite. There will be a severe headache, rash on abdomen, dysentery, and fever up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. This can be avoided or prevented by drinking clean water, vaccination against typhoid, proper disposal of sewage, that is waste product. Now students, I want you to prepare similar table of information about various diseases like enteritis, malaria, plague, AIDS. Second, search reason, symptoms and other information of chicken pox. Third, collect additional information on Pulse Polio Drive and WHO, that is World Health Organization. We will stop here today. In the next video, we will learn more about health and diseases. Till then, thank you. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you like the video. Thank you.